Hello, everybody. All of my beautiful spiritual awakening group. It is Stacie Overman. I help with transforming lives with divine messages. I am an angelic psychic medium. And if you would like to book a session with me, visit me at my website at stacieoverman.com. Super excited to share with you. I know that many of you might be jumping on and many of you will catch the replay, and that is totally fine. I just really felt led to share 7 steps to heal. And there's many of us in this lifetime that have a lot of need for healing, and I understand that some healing needs to take place with a doctor or different forms of medical type help. Please know I am not a doctor. I do not pretend to be one, but I am energetically and spiritually helping you learn how to heal. So if you want to take notes, we're going to start out with step number 1, which is learning how to relax. And let me back up too. One of the reasons why I wanted to share about this healing is many times we get stuck in life. Hi, Amy. Many times we get stuck in life and we run up against these roadblocks, if you will, and we have these negative blocks that are holding us back from being our highest and best good and the best person that we are put on this planet to be. Hello, hello. And so if we can heal ourselves and we can get past these negative blocks, we can feel more peace, love, and joy. We can be the best person that we're supposed to be. So let me give you an example. You may have had something happen, say, when you were a child. Maybe your household was raised and kids were to be seen and not heard, right? Some of you can maybe resonate with that. And so that particular feeling and environment that you were in may have caused you to be, as an adult, to be either very shy or have a lot of trouble speaking in a group or in front of people. And, you know, even in high school and school, it may have been just terrifying. It may be very terrifying for you to do that at work, and you maybe avoid any type of jobs that may entail something like that. So right there, you can see that that is a negative block that if you could get over that, could help you be that better person in life, the person that you came here to be. You may be able to share more love with others and your gifts with others that you may not have met those people if it was holding you back from being in a different type of job, right? If that makes sense to people. So negative blocks can come in many forms. It can cause us to be shy. It can cause us to be overbearing. It can cause us to be OCD and try to control everything, right? And we have no control over hardly anything in life, but depending on what happened to us in life. And I know when my late husband passed away, I became very OCD. It was very important to me that the towels all hung perfect and the shower curtain was open only 1/3 of the way. I mean, these are ridiculous things, right? But I was very OCD. And if the teenagers would come in and mess that up, I would have a meltdown. And I learned it was because of the traumatic experience that I went through that I had no control over. And so if I could have control over how my shower curtain looked and where my towels were and that everything was perfect, then I felt like I had control over my life. And so it took me a while to recognize that and to get over that. So there's some examples for you. So we're going to start out with step number 1, and that is relax. And this is where we take that breath in, like a meditation breath, not deep breaths to get dizzy, but in through the nose and out through the mouth. And when you're taking those breaths in through the nose, you're going to visualize your higher creator, I believe in God, your higher creator's white light coming down and coming into the nose and filling every cell in your body. from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. And feel that love. And then as you release that breath, you are releasing anything that no longer serves you. Just letting it go. Just letting it go. Whether it's energy from somebody else, whether it's the stress of the day, anything that's attached to you, that's bogging you down, or, you can sometimes feel it when you've walked into work and there's a lot of negative energy, and then you tend to bring that home. Or if you have teenagers that maybe are in a negative spot, it's bouncing off the walls in your house, right? So just visualize letting that go. And maybe you have twins that are busy. And you're just trying to keep up. So maybe it's at their nap time when you can actually do this breathing technique. So learning to relax is step number 1. Step number 2 is, and also that breathing technique, that is the fastest way to reduce stress. So anytime you're stressed, I've heard of the counting number, counting to 10, and I've heard of this breathing technique. So try this next time. Number 2 is identify. And so we want to sit with the thought of the traumas. Hello. You want to sit with the thought of the traumas that happened in your life. It may be a traumatic experience that happened last month. It may be a traumatic experience that happened 2 years ago, or it could even be clear back to when you were a little kid. So when you sit with this 7 steps of healing, after you've done the breathing technique and you learn to relax, then you're going to want to think about that traumatic experience that happened. And I would say the first one that pops into your mind is the one that you need to work on right then. And you may have multiple ones, but don't try to fix all of them at the same time. Just work on that first one that pops into your mind. And so this traumatic experience that pops into your mind, this may be affecting your self-confidence. This may be affecting your worthiness. Maybe you don't feel worthy to make a lot of money so that your family is financially stable, right? Maybe there was something that happened in your life that causes you to feel that way. And Jennifer is saying, hi, please message me after the show. I own a radio station and wondering if you would be interested. Oh, beautiful, Jennifer. Thank you. I would be very interested. Hello, Matt. Matt's back again. I was on another Facebook group today sharing this similar thing. So that second step is we want to identify what that traumatic experience is. The third step is we want to replay it. Now, I know many of you are thinking, I don't want to relive that. I don't want to think about it. I want to shove it in a box. I don't want to pull that out because it's nasty and it's ugly. Hi, Matt. And I get that. I do. I really get that. A lot of times we don't want to re-feel all of those emotions. And we don't want to bubble that up again, right? We went through it once. My gosh, we don't want to do it again. But in order to heal, we have to revisit. We have to revisit it. And so it doesn't have to take long. It doesn't have to be a week. It can just be in this 10-minute span of doing these 7 steps. And I just want you to see it as a slideshow. Okay? Just see it as a little picture show in your mind's eye. If you have psychic gifts like I do, maybe you can just shut your eyes and you can see it in your mind's eye like a vision. And it's okay if it brings tears to your eyes, because tears and crying is going to help you in this healing process. And so we move to step 4. Step 4 is we need to forgive. And this is really hard to do, right? I mean, it's not like we can just forgive and forget. It doesn't mean that you have to forget. It doesn't mean you have to forget what they did that hurt you. But to forgive them they don't need to know that you've forgiven them. I'm not saying like get on Facebook and send them an email, and I'm not saying write out a big old snail mail of what they did to you and how it made your life and how it altered you and mail it off. No. It's not about them. Because they honestly, sweetie, they probably don't give a rat's patootie about it. In fact, they've probably altered their view of what happened, right? Or maybe they don't even see it that way at all, or they don't even realize that that hurt you. So many times in life we get hurt and the other person doesn't realize, or they're in their own world. So this is about you and how to heal you. So if you feel the need to write it down, then take these little pieces of paper and write it down like a little fortune cookie paper. Write it down, fold it up, roll it up, rip it up, whatever you need to do. I like to even put it in something that I can burn it in and take it outside. And I like to light that shit on fire. Excuse my French, but it just feels a lot better, right? So light it on fire and see this visualization of letting it go and releasing it so that you can heal. Because when you are living with unforgiveness, you're putting yourself in a cell. You're putting yourself in jail. I know for me, I carried around what I felt like a ball and chain wrapped around my ankle for many years, beating myself up for going through a divorce. But I spent 13 years in a marriage that was slowly killing me. And it wasn't the best place for me, but I didn't believe in divorce. So I stayed and I endured and I stayed and I stayed, and it was getting worse and worse and worse. And you know, after the fact that we went through the divorce, it took a while, but we became friends, as much as you can be, right? But I had to forgive myself for that too. So forgiving not only the people that hurt you, but also learning how to forgive yourself. Because now I look back and I think, my goodness, I knew the lights were on after 2 years. Why did I stay 13 years, right? And so I could beat myself up for that. And I did for a few years, but I have now healed and I have moved on and I have released myself from that. So learning to forgive yourself is also as important as forgiving others. Hi, Rebecca. So now we are moving on to step 5, and if you're just joining us, you will definitely want to watch the replay. Maria says, what if you don't know consciously what needs healing or forgiving? You know, you can do a little meditation around that, and sometimes if it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up, and maybe you just need to know that either you've blocked it out, or maybe you're harboring something and it's just against your own self rather than someone else. And I just say, put it up in prayer. You know, ask your angels. Ask them to come in and help you. Either ask them to shine a light on what it is, or if you're not supposed to know, hello, Darian. If you're not supposed to know, then I say, don't try to dig it up. You know, even when I do readings for people, if I don't see something or I'm not getting a hit on it, I don't make anything up and I don't try to dig for it, because there's a reason. There's a reason it's not coming up. And if there's a reason, then let it be. Just let it be. And maybe step 4, when nothing comes up, you can skip step 4 if there's nothing that comes up, right? Or you can even just say, I forgive anything that may have happened, and move forward. But that's a great question. Let's see. Step number 5. And this step is permission. Give yourself permission. I know it sounds silly, but we really do. Give yourself permission to release all of those past hurts and those sufferings. Because it's crazy. I'm knocking on the door of 50. Right? And just a couple years back, I can remember still harboring stuff from my childhood. And I speak to beautiful souls every day that are older than me, in their 60s, in close to 70. and they're still hurting. Their soul is grieving and hurting from things that happened when they were a teenager. And so that is the one thing about loving what I do and connecting with angels and helping them, is to be able to transform their lives and be able to learn how to forgive and be able to learn how to heal so that they can feel more peace, love, and joy in their life, no matter how much time they have left. And my hope is that we can get more people to heal sooner than later, right? So we have a better life and we can be the best you longer, for a longer period in our life. And maybe we learn our lessons sooner rather than later. So I don't know if y'all believe in reincarnation, but I certainly don't want to come back and have to do this again. So I would really like to learn the lessons now because heaven seems like it might be a lot better place. So, oh yes, sorry, I had a message come through there. So give yourself permission to let it go. Amen, right? Amen. Whoop, whoop. I enjoy it here, but I am looking forward to the other side, and I want to be able to help those that are here, and I hope that angelically I can come. I know I won't be an angel, but I will be a beautiful spirit, and I hope to be able to come through to still help people from the other side with a better idea of what's going on and a better, clearer, angelic point of view. So now, with that permission, I want to give you a little visualization, how to give yourself permission. So I like to think of it as this beautiful ribbon. And have any of you been to a ribbon cutting ceremony when a new job, or not job, but a new business opens up, right? The whole community comes out. It's a big party. The Chamber of Commerce comes out. They all stand out there with this awesome ribbon and these great big scissors, right? I don't even think the scissors are real, but and so you're visualizing this ribbon, this cord, this cording, this ribbon that's attaching all of these traumatic things, all of these things that hurt you in life. Hi, Morgan. All of this stuff, it's attached in this ribbon, and it's attached to you, clear back from childhood. And so you're going to have this ribbon cutting ceremony, and you take these great big scissors and you cut that ribbon. And that ribbon wobbles and floats, and it takes a while to hit the ground. And while that ribbon is wafting in the wind and floating down to the ground, you're visualizing all of those hurts, all of those negative blocks floating away and going away, all the way down to the ground. Whatever is not serving your highest and best good, it's just going away. All right, so we visualize that ribbon hitting the ground. Now step 6 is feeling lighter. So imagine all those blocks, all those negative blocks, all those hurts, all those traumas that's happened all throughout your life. All of them have just withered away. They went down to the ground with that ribbon, and all of a sudden the balloon starts floating up in the air. And the end of that ribbon, the beautiful side, is attached to that balloon. And it's light, and it's going up and up and up. That is you. That's the balloon that is feeling lighter. But nobody could see you clearly because you were down so low and you were amongst the crowd and no one could see you. And all of a sudden, this balloon floats up. And you're lighter. You feel lighter. You feel happier. You feel released, right? You feel enlightened. And all of a sudden, that new you is awakened. And here you go. Everyone is looking at you now, and they're looking at you like, what is new about you? Something is different about you, because you are releasing all of the prison bars that you held yourself in. All of that unforgiveness is now floating away, and you're letting it all go. And the last step is to remember promises. all of us have given our promise for this and our promise for that. We've all said we promised to do that, and we've broken these promises. It happens. And we didn't mean to. We had good intention. I mean, even if I look at that marriage that I needed to get out of, right? I didn't believe in divorce. And so I stuck it out and I stuck it out. And I knew after 2 years I shouldn't have been there, but I stuck it out for 13 years. Well, I made that promise till death do us part, but it was killing me to be in that situation. And I had to release and forgive myself to get out of it. And I know society has their own pressures on you of, oh, that looked bad. You shouldn't have got a divorce. How terrible of you. Well, you know what? You're not in my shoes and I'm not in your shoes. So someone like me cannot judge you for why and what and when you did what you did, because we don't know. We're not there. And so you got to quit worrying about what everyone else thinks. And it's okay that you weren't able to make all of your promises. Life happens. We do not have an angelic eye of how this life is going to be. It would have been great if we could see it from an angelic point of view and say, wow, there's a U-turn in the road. Let's not take that at 120 miles an hour, right? Wow, there's a fork in the road, and if I went left or right, it would sure be a lot easier in life. But no, I took the left road and I hit some potholes and let's see, had to climb a cliff. But we got to the same place eventually, right? We got to where we needed to be and we learned the lessons we needed to learn. So let go, dear one, is what I hear. Let go, dear one. Don't harbor this on yourself. This is not a baggage that you need to carry. There's no reason that you have to carry the little red wagon of baggage with you everywhere you go. It's okay to let it go, and it's time to let it go. So those are the 7 steps to healing. And lastly, when you're finished with all 7 steps, I like for you to visualize God's beautiful white light coming in from the top of your head and filling every cell of your body all the way to the tip of your toes. And visualize just standing in that beautiful white light and that it's all around your body. And this white light, after doing these 7 steps, is going to start healing your body. A new you will start coming out. And you will be able to start beginning that awakening, spiritual awakening journey and seeing who you are really supposed to be. And you'll be able to be the best you that you were sent here on this earth to be, to bless others and to love others. And to just enjoy peace, love, and joy. I mean, there's so many years that I feel like I beat myself up for whatever reasons, right? That I wasn't worthy of feeling that peace, love, and joy. And I can remember, gosh, I can remember 10, 12 years ago in a sales meeting at work. And they wanted us to write our goals out. And the top 3 goals for me was I wanted to feel peace, love, and joy. Wow, peace, love, and joy. And here I am now. I finally got it. I finally get it. I'm finally in my spiritual awakening and I'm getting it. And now I understand that it's not money. It's not a great job. It's not the things that are in our life that is going to bring us that peace, love, and joy. It is healing who we are. It's healing our deep souls. That deep-seated thing that hurt our heart so much. And our soul is needing some healing. And many times it's not a medical issue. Many times it's just reliving that traumatic experience and releasing it and forgiving and letting it go. So if there's visualizations that help you, if there's affirmations that help you, if it's writing that stuff out on a piece of paper and lighting that puppy on fire, then go do that. or if it's putting it in a box and grabbing the shovel and digging a big old hole and throwing it in there, then go do that, right? So whatever works for you, then go do that, because you're in this group for a reason. It's a spiritual awakening. It is an awakening that there is more to life. There's more to life than what we see. And if you simply go day by day on what we've been taught in the past and what everyone seems to think is the norm, and you never balk the system and you never question, then you may not be in a spiritual awakening moment. You may just be going along and floating along with what seems to be the norm. But if you're questioning everything, then I say welcome. Welcome, dear one, because you are in your awakening moment, and we're all in this group together for a reason, and you may be just barely getting a taste of this awakening moment, and you may be a sponge wanting to learn more and more and more, and I totally get it, because I feel like I'm a lot further in my awakening and I'm still a sponge and I still want to learn more and more, and I learn from you guys as well, and we help each other. So love, love, love that you're here with me tonight. I hope and I pray that these 7 steps to healing will help you. And this weekend is Easter, and so I just think that this healing session is a great thing for you to work on this weekend, because with being Easter, this is a perfect time to practice this, because it's like a rebirth. It's like the shedding of the old life so that the new life can come forward. And so let's all just make a pact to each other to dying to our old self, and a time for rebirth so that we can be the best us that we were meant to be here on this earth together. Thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. You guys have a blessed evening. Mwah. Angel kisses to you, and happy Easter weekend.